Zoe here, welcome back to my channel. Tonight I have another in my Stretch That Collection series. This is layout number 12, which is kind of crazy, really, considering I just had the 6x6 pad as my paper. That's pretty crazy. Anywho, I've started out with this cut file from, I think it's a Paper Issues one. I want to say it's Paper Issues. And I've cut that with my Silhouette Cameo, and now you can see I'm just showing you the scraps that I have left from this 6x6 pad, which is pretty much nothing. I am down to literally the bare minimum. So as you can see, I'm going through some of the scraps and I'm just going to back a few of these hearts. Now I'm not going to make them even. I'm not going to have clear spacing between them. I'm just going where I think they will look good, and you can see I'm even using the cover of the pad. That's how dire my paper situation has gotten. I'm down to this, to using the cover of the pad, which is, yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's a pretty good cover. There's some good scraps to be able to use there, so why not, eh? So I'm going to go ahead and back those, and you can see I've also backed some in vellum, some in some really pretty dotty tissue paper, and some in some mint green American Crafts textured cardstock. Now you can see I've left 4 completely blank. That's where my photo is going to go, so I didn't see the point in wasting the paper behind those. And I'm just trimming some white by white. No, I am trimming some 12 by 12 cardstock. I've just taken 1 centimetre off each side, just purely to back this whole layout onto, to give it a bit more sturdiness, and also to cover up all the messiness of the sticking to the hearts on the background. It was kind of messy. And a little bit sticky where I'd gone awry with my tape, so it's just easier for me to back it and then it doesn't get lost. So I have this photo of me playing with Snapchat filters, as you do, and I'm just kind of trying to decide what I want to do with it. So I think what I'm going to do is back it onto a really thin scrap of white cardstock, so I'll just have a really thin border, and then I'm going to take some of the mint green that I've used in the hearts, and again just give it a super duper thin matte, nothing thick. I don't want anything particularly bold because the background is so bold. I think I'm going to keep everything else really simple, which is helpful because I don't have too many embellishments left either. So you might say it's fortuitous that I don't want to do very much to this layout, but it is true. I'm going to keep it relatively simple, just purely because the background is so visually appealing to me that I don't really want to distract from it. I think it's really pretty. And this photo of me is it's not an important one. It's nothing. It's nothing I have a story to tell about. It's just a silly photo. So I figure I'm gonna let the background do the talking because I can. And as ever, I always get blooming tape where I don't want it. So I'm just using a glue eraser here just to take a little bit of the tack that I'd accidentally got stuck to my photo off of my photo. Gotta love glossy prints for that you can just take things off. At least you can with the Selfie. You can't if you've used an inkjet. If you used an inkjet, you're gonna have to print it again because it's going to be completely screwed if you get adhesive. Ask me how I know. I've been there. So I'm adding a doodly border just to draw the eye in, and because my t-shirt in the photo has stripes, I think it's nice to draw the eye in with a sort of stripe. That's my theory anyway. So you can see I have very little left in the way of embellishments, so I'm going to go with this embellishment as my title, which is Now Is the New Later. And I do toy with the Feel Beautiful Today one, but Now Is the New Later works better. And I'm gonna kind of fudge a story in that it's not, the story isn't a fib or anything like that. It's essentially, my journal is just going to mention that I'm using Snapchat rather than doing the work that I should be doing. So it's sort of bringing in the title and sort of making it work, even though that's not necessarily what my layout was about. but you've got to make things work for you sometimes. I mean, especially when you're doing a sort of kill the collection like this, that you want to try and use every last piece. Now, I'm not going to lie, this sticker book has been, honestly, I can't use it. I'm finding it so difficult to use. I'm not sure why. I'm not a big fan of the washi in there. I feel like it's really washed out and it doesn't necessarily match the tones of the papers. And then the gold foil I like. I think that's worked really well, and as you can tell because I've used it all. The alphas are great, but I haven't had a cause to use them necessarily. But then there's a whole page of like makeup themed items and stuff like that, and I haven't used them. I'm gonna have to try and use them because I've got next to no paper left, so I don't know how I'm gonna keep going unless I use them. So it's gonna force me out of my comfort zone anyway, which is definitely a good thing. So you can see I've gone ahead and committed to those, and I've just added a little bit of foam behind my title there. And you can see I've pulled out a punch here, a teeny tiny punch, and it punches these almost exactly the same size as the hearts that are on this paper. So I start to punch a few out, and then I like them fine, but in the back of my mind I'm thinking, do I have any rose gold? Because I've put that rose gold kitty down there, and I have rose gold in my title, and it just feels off balance. It feels really off balance and like it needs more rose gold. So as I'm doing this, I'm sort of racking my brains to think what I have. And it occurs to me that I have some washi tape somewhere in my craft room that's rose gold. So what I think I'm going to do is go and print off my journaling, which I've printed off onto vellum. And whilst I'm doing that, I'm also thinking about where I've put that washi tape. Oh my gosh, you will not believe it. It took me maybe 10 minutes to find it. It was not where I keep my washi, which of course it was not. And I've never used it, so I don't know why it wasn't with my washi. But anyway, my journaling I've printed off onto vellum, which is inkjet vellum. If you print off with an inkjet printer onto normal vellum, you are going to want to give it a good 24 hours to dry, otherwise it will smudge. But I use vellum specifically for an inkjet printer, and it dries instantly, so yay. You could also emboss over it, clear embossing powder, and that would work just fine too. But yes, I found my rose gold washi tape, so I'm just using that little heart punch just to punch out little teeny tiny hearts. And it's not easy because the tape's really thin. The tape's almost exactly the same width as the heart, and the tape keeps getting stuck to my fingers. So I stop filming, and I do it off camera because it did take me a little while, but I think it's worth it. And I've hunted out some enamel dots from my stash that match the colours, and I'm just laying a few down. And I think that's about it for this layout. I don't do too much more, but I really like this one. And it's also the first layout I've made in like a week, I think. So it was nice to have a bit of mojo back and feel like myself again. So yeah, I really do like this one. Let me know down below what you think. I'd love to know, and I'm very curious to see how many more layouts I can get with next to no paper. But we shall see, and hopefully I'll be back with the next one next week. So thank you ever so much for watching, and please do subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like this video, because it lets YouTube know that you'd like to see more content like this. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!